You send it live. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, so we're going to redo that. My name is Blaze. This is my first time doing this. I'm not ashamed to say I'm technologically retarded. And we are going to celebrate two big releases par mois. I celebrated Blood Moon's release here recently, which is Vampire Chicago's beautiful second release. This is the first one. I don't have any hard copies of the second one. But Blood Law's sequel is now live. And yes, it features werewolves. So are also celebrating the release of this lovely young man, my beautiful, beautiful Zayn. And we had to push back City of Nightmares because Texas underwent Snowmageddon. And as Brittany said so beautifully, we are absolutely drowning in snow. Yeah. So we had to push back the release date. And I'm going to let this lovely lady introduce herself. So, ma'am, who are you and what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, this is always with me. So, Brittany Weisrock, I am the wonderful, well, should I say wonderful? Yeah, I'm the wonderful author of Triad, which you will be seeing April 6th. So, I mean, you might have heard of me, or you will soon. I tell you that. Oh, yeah. that is true. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. As no physical copies yet, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Good things, all good things.
Oh, yes. So basically, we just want to chitter chatter. So this is just celebrating a big birthday. So, and we're going to be celebrating your birthday. What is it? Next month? April? April book birthday, right?
I am April.
All right. So we are April book baby. So we're like right there, like April.
We are. Our due date is so close.
March, April, June, February. Yeah. So we are covering you guys for this entire month. So, ma'am, tell us about your book. What inspired you? All that good stuff. We've got an hour to burn, and we've got some bookish goodies to give away in about 15 minutes.
Can't wait to do that. Tell us. Well, I went with. Let's see. Where should we start? I mean, Triad obviously means 3 for people. So what I wanted to do when I started writing it, I guess I really wanted obviously that strong female character. And so far, Athena, which is her name, is coming off really well. She's really hitting it off with all the ARC readers right now. They love her from the beginning to the end. They seem to really relate to her and root for her, which is definitely awesome for me because I thought if I was going to make one character super great, it would be her. So the fact that she is actually likable and a bit saucy is awesome.
I was I was like, when I saw Athena, I was like, yeah, I need to read more of these. And her brothers were just like, okay, I need one. Her brother, I just like
her brothers. You know, I would like to say that Athena's the favorite, but I think her brothers might be everyone's favorite just because for as serious as a book can be, everybody seems to love that comic relief, and the brothers provide that. Anders and Atlas, they seem to keep people rolling because who doesn't love a good laugh? I mean, in a one-liner, like zing, and there they are with that, like at inappropriate times, appropriate times, like they're siblings through and through. And I have a sister, and I can tell you right now, like we can be in public or wherever, and we're going to say whatever comes out. And that's just definitely how that they seem to work together, which is good or bad, but it's amusing nonetheless.
I really liked, Anders and Atlas were like, when I was reading through it, I had to stop because I didn't want any spoilers for reasons you know. And when I read those twos and their dynamic, I'll put them all 3 together. It was like fire was flying. I was like, she's fixing to kill them. She's fixing to freaking kill them.
I'm going to beat one of you. Just, you better stop. It's really funny. What I actually want to know is, and because this is a favorite of mine, every good, attractive male character is named Zayn. What do you have for me here? Because I'm intrigued. I snuck a sample of Black Mirror, not going to lie. So, thanks to Kindle. And I was like, oh, he's dark-haired and handsome. Like, so you just know that it's going to be a good thing.
Okay, so Zayn actually is special to me in a very special way. There's a vampire character in my first books named Zayn. And he just sort of came out of nowhere. And these were supposed to make it to you, but they did not.
Yeah.
But
it's about a base.
Yeah. So Zayn is a vampire character that appears in Bane of Tenebris, and he is a character that works underneath the vampire empire to help the lycanthropes. And that's I really love Zayn. I had a plan to have a spinoff of him, so you'd see the vampire side of the Wolf God series, but I have found that I have very hard trouble just writing straight paranormal romance. So I introduced, and he actually came, not Logan here, but Zayn actually came to me in a dream, and his name was Zayn Bishop. So I guess that Zayn kind of migrated to, he got younger and he migrated to another book series. And of course, then you have very sexy Logan Meyer here. I have to have my glitter and glam character. So he is very glitzy. Like,
give me all the glitz.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Lip gloss, dark coal eyes, really sexy. It's, yeah.
Oh, so he reminds me of, a character I loved in like City of Bones and whatnot, Magnus Vane.
He actually inspired Magnus. He was very, I mean, Magnus inspired him. Sorry.
I know. Okay. He and I are going to be buddies. I can tell.
Really inspired Logan.
Yeah. And he's a great character. I very much enjoyed Magnus in that book. So that's nice that there's a little tether there. That'll be fun for me.
Oh, yeah. You'll always see a glitzy kind of Cupid male character in my male romances, because who doesn't love the guy that wears the lip gloss and the makeup?
Oh, yes. I love the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have one in almost every one of my novels. There has to be one of them. You know, not a main character. I actually have a short story that is unpublished anywhere else.
That looks spicy.
So it is very spicy. It's by Four Horsemen Publications, and I was very glad to be able to get accepted in this. And there is a short story I have not published anywhere else in here. So I will be giving away signed copies of this as well. So anybody who gets a copy,
and lucky.
It was definitely lucky. Logan snuck in there apparently. So
actually should please sneak between those sheets.
Heck yeah. So this one's very, this story is very spicy, and it's not seen anywhere else. So
perfect. Something to look forward to. I will be through Kindle later. Definitely.
Oh yeah, you should be able to get it on Kindle.
Oh, I will get back to you. I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, it's unpublished.
Give me all the spice. I love at least a little bit of it. I don't want to obviously read, every read his name, but I love romance spice. I am such a sappy romantic, which you'll find out. And
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to send you a copy to sign. I have to have it signed.
I will. You're not the only one. I had another ARC reader today. She's like, "Listen, I'll buy 3 copies if you promise to sign one." And I was like, "Oh, well, one is fine. I'll still sign it." So yeah, my lead character, Kale or Kalen. We call him Kale a lot. I know he sounds like a leafy vegetable. He is anything but. As you can
super leafy vegetable. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So this man, I know when I mention this that the women are going to know exactly who I'm referring to. When I thought of Kalen and who I wanted him to be and how I wanted him to relate to Athena, he's very much modeled after like 2 characters that I loved. Jamie Fraser from Outlander.
Oh, yes.
Because he has that gentlemanly air about him and this, but he's not overbearing. And then I'm not sure if anybody watched the series. I loved it. Siren, Ben.
Yes. Yes, I watched part of Siren. I didn't finish it.
So then you at least know who Ben is. And Kalen mirrors characteristics of, this is weird, but like very accepting and wanting to know. Like, I want to know things, and it's never like I'm gonna push myself on you. He's very supportive versus like enemies to lovers, because enemies to lovers just did not work with Athena. You can't say that she was this absolute badass, didn't take anybody's crap, even her brothers, and then you're gonna introduce a guy that treats her kind of like crappy right away. That did not work, because that just did not jive with who she was as a character. She's not gonna let some dude, any relationship or not, come in and be like, "Oh yeah, you're not important." This wasn't going to work for that character. So
speaking of tropes, what is this trope? What are we looking at? Like romance, I'd say trope.
Trope definitely. So I would say it's closer to like fated lovers, or I guess if you want to go that route. There's another one. What it's like, I mean, there's probably like a couple more that it falls into, but that's probably the closest romantic wise, because they're definitely, they're that OTP from the beginning. But obviously, since you give them that easy in together, they have to struggle. So you can't, like, if you're going to give them, I guess, each other and make them not battle each other, then they have to have that kind of turmoil. Maybe not from them, but external coming in, bearing down on them. And so they definitely kind of have that, like, it's interesting. Don't give spoilers.
Okay, so that's what I noticed when it was forced that kind of zing between the two of them.
Yes, it's that zing, and Athena is very against this zing in the beginning. She's like, listen, I don't want to deal with this. I don't have time for this. I have other plans. You are very pretty. You seem nice. You should go. But maybe don't go, like, maybe stay. So yeah, it's very it has this internal conflict between herself of going, no, I don't want to do this. Can I have a pass? And it just doesn't go her way. She loses.
So is there a sequel? Are we a sequel?
There is. Oh, there is a sequel. Wouldn't that be fun if we reveal the title later?
Yeah, it would be. It would definitely make some folks stay around if we can get them to come in.
I know. I'm not even sure like how to send links.
Okay, so there are some in the private chat. Like there's a link to the YouTube video itself. So did you get access to the private chat?
Let me see. I know if I can. Not the brightest crayon in the box like this. Oh, are you sending it via like Twitter?
Yeah, I'm fixing to tweet you, so you can like blast your.
You're fixing to tweet me. Perfect.
Yep, you've been tweeted.
I've been. I'll take care of this. See what I can do here.
Get y'all people up in here.
I do, and I have plenty of them when they're around. Here we go. I know, right? Tell me nobody's on right now while I'm doing this.
Oh, I'm not. I don't. I will just distract people by showing these lovely bookish candles that I will be giving away.
Is that Azrael?
It says Azrael. Oh. Yes, it is. Reading and rain and things like that.
Listen. Okay, that distracted me. That was not helpful.
Sorry.
That really wasn't. I completely. Oh, dang it! Now I got to start over. Look what you did. Okay, have you? You are so busy right now, so you probably haven't maybe had the pleasure to read those.
No, I have not. Reading it right now is switched to audiobooks for me. I just know enough about it because I'm a bookstagrammer. So
I completely understand. I know right now there's a lot of mixed emotions about the author, but I'm not dealing with that. So I'm not doing that. Those books are really good, but they're a long read. Just because she does a lot of world building. For the first one, it's not so intense. But she does like a lot of intense, obviously if you're not necessarily sure of things, but that one's not nearly as world building intensive as Crescent City, which I had to put down for a while.
Yeah, I've heard that about Crescent City, and that's really why I've been kind of hesitant to pick it up, because there's a lot of just dead air space.
It's not even just dead air space. That is a book I would literally describe too much and not enough all at once. I've never come across one quite like that. It is. It's very like immersive, because everything has like their own terminology and things, and like, there's a glossary or whatever, but you're still definitely like a little confused. And so that one was difficult for me. I gave it 6 chapters and I still was not sure what was going on. And I'm a good reader.
Oh yeah, I've seen your bookstagram stuff. It makes me jealous because
I live for book
your
pics.
photos are just absolutely. Yes, I'm kind of sitting on the edge there too because I have not picked up Crescent City, and to be honest, I hadn't picked up City of Bones since I was a teenager, like when it first came out.
Same, neither have I. That's when I read. Yeah. So, yep.
I go back to it now and it's like, okay, there's way too much description. I mean, we really just need to, can we get out of the institute?
City of Bones is not even, it's not even on the same level as Crescent City, I promise.
Oh no, I can tell the difference. I mean, you can tell Mon.
Yeah, it's
like that.
All I know is I want to love it, but it's very difficult at the beginning.
See, I actually am a return to Sarah's work because number one, I did see her in person. She is very sweet. Oh. And number two, oh yeah, she came to our Barnes and Noble and she was super, super sweet. Like, I met her in the aisleway. Like, we were in the aisleway and I didn't even recognize her until I turned around and looked at her promo poster. And I was like, oh my God, you're Sarah Moss. Sarah J. Moss. How do you not have a throng of people around you right now? We're in the middle of a bookstore, for God's sake.
You know what? Sometimes people don't realize like what they look like up close. So I mean, good deal though. Yeah, it's I just really enjoyed her other series, but I have been avoiding Throne of Glass like the plague because I made a TikTok the other day and it's like, other readers, why haven't you started reading this? Because I just want to be happy because I know that's not going to end well. It's going to cut me to the core and I sometimes cannot handle the sadness.
Oh yeah, Throne of Glass is a much darker, right? Obviously, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just now picking up a quart of Thorns and Roses. I have just picked it up, and I had to add the. I had to pick up the audiobook version because obviously, like you have stated, I am super, super busy, so I'm picking up that physical book. Right now, I'm actually binging. You've probably seen it on my Instagram because I know you follow me. But I am binging the what's it called? See, now you can shoot me. I'm binging David Dalglish's Dan, and I am loving that. So I've already eaten through 2 books of it, and I'm moving on to the 3rd. And so I'm reading a lot of dark fiction for reasons you probably noticed if you've been keeping up with me on Instagram as well, because I am going to have a release this November of Hunter's first title.
That's fantastic. I generally shy away from like super dark reads just because, like I said, I'm such a soft touch in that sense. I get way too attached to characters. So when I mentioned Outlander, I got so upset by 2 out of 3 of those books. The one in particular, I chucked it across the room, and I don't damage my books. I was so upset. I literally, it went across the room, and I didn't pick it up for a week. I just stepped over it.
Oh my gosh. Which one was it again?
I get so attached. It's irrational. I know. I get so attached to these characters. No. And so when something very dark like happens and I just go, no, why would you do this to me? It's almost like a little traumatic for me because I do feel very connected to them. So I struggle to deal with some of those dark reads. But it is, I mean, I do enjoy them. Like, I guess break my heart a little, but not a lot.
Oh, no, this is not breaking your heart dark. This is, let me throw a couple of demons at your face, really harsh sex scenes. Like, this is trigger warning Central Mania. So, so this is trigger warnings early because I do not trigger warnings.
You know what?
I'm sorry, I just don't. I just don't.
My thing is, so very highly, let me rephrase. On Book Talk, one of the books going around for a while, it was months back, was Den of Vipers. And morbid curiosity, I was like, that is a 600-page erotica. I need to know what this is. I ordered the book. It's this thick. And I'm like, wow. So I start reading and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And it's very, very dark. That TW all over that thing. for so many things. So many things. Needless to say, I will not lie. I did DNF it.
I can imagine why. I actually checked out Blood and Ash because you mentioned it to me. I did. I checked out Blood and Ash. And I looked at some of the comments for it. And I, as a dark fiction writer, I say this with a slight giggle because it's like, you do not sleep with somebody and then betray her. It's like,
that's exactly what dark writers do.
Fiction. That's what dark writers do. We do have somebody stab somebody after they've finished getting it on in the bed. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Forewarning.
You dark writers do. You just rip our hearts out. You give us a little bit of heat, and then you're like, oh, by the way,
yep,
enjoy that dagger in your side.
Yep, poison in your drink. You know, all that good stuff. I'm going to love you and kill you.
Exactly. I'm a little less. I'm definitely way the opposite end of the spectrum. And when I wrote, like I said, when I wrote Triad, I wrote it purposeful with different intentions. So I know that there are some, and that's why I'm very like, I don't know. I always tell readers like, yes, there's spice, but be aware that the spice that I chose to use was purposeful and consensual and less like not TW. It's very an enthusiastic yes. Like, can we please do this properly? But in a sexy way. So
hey, it's all right. See, that's why us dark writers read your stuff because we need a break.
We need a break. Yeah, you're like, listen.
I can only kill someone so many times before needing a break from the sweet.
Exactly. So then you come and you read me and you're like, oh, this is what the sweet people do. This is what the sweet people do. Yeah. I had an ARC reader and I knew when she volunteered to read it, she prefers dark books. She's wonderfully dark and twisty and I love everything about her. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fun because she's going to read this and go, what the heck? And I did win her over. I don't know how, but she was just reading it. She's like, I can't even help myself. Like I am so in love. She's like with Kaylin right now. And she actually highlighted something he had said or done. And she was like, I normally like the twisted ones, but this is so good. And I was like, oh, so I can definitely still pull the dark and twisty.
Oh yeah. See, Kaylin was what caught me. I mean, when I saw him, I was like, oh.
He's very pretty.
Oh yeah. He's very pretty, but he's got that, you can tell he obviously has that. I really want to get this your mind thing going on, but being a gentleman that he is, he's like, I'm gonna just, hold my horses because
I'm going to woo you by being decent.
Yes, although in my mind I'm thinking I really want to shag you.
Yes, I mean, and he, yeah, oh yeah.
But
I mean, he definitely says that at one point. He's like, "This is inappropriate right now." What I'm thinking, just so you know. But yeah, he's that really nice, that really. Like he's a reformed bad boy, kind of. He just, lost for a little while. And then, by the time he's kind of cleaned himself all up before he meets Athena. And so he's just kind of like in a place where he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I did that already. That wasn't that cool. I'm over it. And so he meets her and it just works out really well, which is why this is so cute.
Oh, I love that.
I know. The artist behind the majority of my character art, he is amazing. He totally gets me and like my characters and understands like the vision I have. And as it turned out, we actually developed another working relationship. So my characters are actually part Brazilian, so they tend to speak a little bit of Portuguese in there. And he's actually from Brazil.
Oh, which one is it? Like, I know you mentioned him, but
his name is Brian, actually, the same as my husband. But he goes by, if you ever want to look him up in his work, he's amazing. It's Fallout Brian, Bryan. And his signature, he's so good at what he does. I mean, and really bringing your characters to life for you. But yeah, he was actually able to make sure my translations were correct. And like making sure like, even to like the areas to where they were from, like colloquialisms, and that was just, I went, look at who you can meet just by like being nice and networking and connecting with people. It's very cool. It was just awesome to kind of, come across him and develop an extra working relationship in addition to the fact that he's crazy talented.
Oh yeah, this is all about very good at it because I've seen you on TikTok. You are like the TikTok queen. So I know a few of the other authors have asked you for
they have
some tutorials and things.
I know, and I'm like, listen, I will help you. I will always do my best. I'm like, okay, try this. But also, here's the thing: TikTok is one of those wonderful random things, but it's not wonderful for certain people at the same time because a lot of it is kind of just being off the cuff funny. Like bookish, of course, like if you want that content audience, but people really do want like humor and, you know, some of those real life things. And my life is comical as comical can be. It's not hard. Like there are some TikToks on there that I'm like, listen, not my normal content, but for a week straight, I did trying out corny jokes and pickup lines on my husband, part 2.
Oh gosh, wow.
Yeah, one day I was like, hey, wait, what do you call? Oh yeah, I was like, what do you call a pig that knows karate? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, a pork chop.
Oh gosh, no, that's like we all need some butter and some corn for that one.
Oh, I'm sorry, it is corny. I see it. There's a disclaimer, corny joke. I can't even. I wish I could say I liked it less, but I think it's too funny. So yeah, TikTok is one of those interesting places where you can definitely meet and that's where I actually found most of my ARC readers because I wanted an unbiased, like someone who doesn't know me. I need you to not know me. I need you to not, get any ideas. So I mean, it's a really great base of people if you want serious avid readers, because those people will devour a book, good or bad, and they will let you. Which is awesome.
They're honest. Like it's really hard now on Instagram to get ARC readers to even respond.
That's too bad. See, and I
still relatively small.
Yeah. Well, it's right, and that's why I say TikTok Book Talk is wonderful for, like I said, finding those people because they genuinely want to read books. And if you're willing to offer them hey, can you check this book out in advance? My only request is that you give me honest feedback or an honest review. You want to give it, 1 star, 2 stars. Hey, it is what it is. Fortunately, that hasn't happened. I've smashed it out of the park with the majority of. I said you could give me a 1 or a 2 star. I said, but fortunately, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I've looked at your reviews. They have been fantastic. It's great.
That is blind luck.
I don't think so. You gotta have
luck is a good book. No, it is. I shouldn't downplay it. It is a good story, as I just read it all in 2 days.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. No, it's totally okay. It was good though for me to do it again because I was like, oh, I forgot how cute that was when I wrote it. Ooh. You ever have that aha moment as a writer, like when you're going through, especially your newest books? Do you ever have that aha moment where you're just incredibly excited, like I wrote that?
Oh yes, every time I hold it in my hand, like I tell anybody, it's like, and this never gets old. It's like, I want to be famous. It's like, are you kidding me? No, I just start with this moment.
I just want it right. I've heard people say that. I don't. You know what? I don't need fame. I don't need fortune. Do you know what I want? I'm going to show you because I have it here. I want someone to do this to my book. I want someone to tab it.
That's awesome.
That they mark it because something in there has resonated with them so much. This is my current read, by the way. Something in there that has resonated with them, that they feel the need to do this. This is all I want in my life.
We definitely don't. It's definitely not an age where we can make, unless we're like bukus of money and, all that stuff. We can't. Oh. An author cannot definitely have a hard time.
Tab my book. That's all I need.
Buy my book, or at least read my book. If you read.
No, let me go. Let me bump it up a little. No, please tab. I
don't know anything about tabbing. Like I've never tabbed a book.
Oh my gosh. see, I used to do it as a kid. I would leave little markers in here. I never had such nice ones as I do now, but I would leave little pieces of paper on pages I knew that there was something I liked. And I stopped doing it for the longest time. And then everybody on Book Talk does it now, like everybody. And it's just like so that they can go back and reread it. And I am a rereader. And I was like, why don't I get into that again? I really loved that. I loved being able to go back and find, a quote in there that really I enjoyed, or like a smart ass comment that made me laugh. And so like, it's just, I don't know. See, book nerd.
No, you're fine. It's called Feel Like an Artist. Anybody in this, this whole world of ours knows what Steal Like an Artist is. We've all stolen from each other or adapted it and twisted and killed it and turned it into Frankenstein work. So.
Oh, well, I didn't mean quite like that. I just meant so that I can go back and read it. Just because there are just certain things that I just think in a book that I should remember for the rest of my life. Definitely.
So what is a book? Like, what is a book do you think that you could say inspired Triad? Like, where did this fire come from? We all read that one book and put it in the blender and kill it. So
can I be? Oh God, this is gonna get me killed. It's gonna
probably.
It's gonna get me put on a pyre and roasted. Hopefully not though. Okay, many years ago, I obviously read, like every other girl. I read Twilight, and I knew. I'm so sorry. Don't be mad. Can we factor in my age?
Totally. I was there when I grabbed a coffee when I was grabbing a coffee. I don't remember it. Don't ask me to tell you what it's about. I can't tell
That's fine. So that was one of them. And then I really started, like I said, reading like Outlander and then Discovery of Witches. And Discovery of Witches is still one of my like favorite recommendations, along with
love that.
Yes. And so that one, because I was like, listen, Twilight is juvenile. I want something adult, but I still, and something a little more appropriate and less stalkerish. But
yes, thank you. Finally, someone said it. It's like, hello, this is wrong.
Yeah, this is weird, right? Which strange that you have a moral compass, dark reader.
No, I just have. Why did we choose the vampire guy who wants to completely and utterly destroy your life versus the really hot werewolf dude? That just makes sense because you could be yourself. You don't have to get bitten. You don't have a giant clan trying to kill you.
Listen, and I don't know. I can't tell you.
That's just true.
I just see. I did.
Logical didn't make sense.
I did shifters this time. The vampires are not the heroes here, but they're not the bad guys either. There's no. It's not like one. I have a myriad of like a world that we're just starting to get into, and to avoid that over world building, you meet several species, but you don't meet a ton as to overwhelm you. So, and that was like where people compare, like Rachel from Yours Truly Book Services, like when she beta read and then reread it again. What?
Love you, Rachel.
Yes, isn't she amazing? Oh my God, she's the best and so funny. Like she is great. Love her on so many levels. But so she read it and she compares it to like the True Blood series, like Sookie Stackhouse, because of that bigger world and the more mature. And I'm not even talking about the spicy stuff, just the more mature content of it. But and that bigger world of, it's not just like vampires and wolves and shifters and things like that. It's just it's a larger, bigger existence. But to keep from overwhelming, it was like, let's introduce you a little bit slowly. And that has paid off, because several people that I've reviewed has went, thank you for not just throwing all of it at us, because it can be very jarring sometimes.
Oh, yeah, insta-love. Yeah, completely. Insta-love is something that, I mean, I get it as an author's point of view.
Oh, I didn't even mean insta-love. I mean, like, when
I do understand insta-love, because it's not like,
I'm sorry, there is no slow burn here. But it's not, they're not insta in love either, but there is just not, slow burn didn't quite work for this one. But book 2. But I really mean is when an author throws you kind of into, like I said, that huge world building, you kind of have no idea where you are, like what's up, down, right, left, or So that can always be a little bit jarring. And I didn't want to do that to people. I wanted you to be able to keep up with where they were going.
Story.
Yeah, keep up with, what they were doing, where they were from, but still draw you in. So that's kind of fun. I will say I've been enjoying the Shadow and Bone, the Grishaverse. I've been enjoying that. It's normally I don't read something. It's very YA in my opinion, which is great for a nice, comfortable read. But I had to finish that before the series comes on in April, so I pushed myself to get that out.
See, I do have Leigh Bardugo stuff, including Ninth House, on my read. However, I am the type of person that you cannot, and you might kill me first. I ain't touching the movie.
What'd you say?
The movie, not touching the series. I said if I am one of those people you might hang on a pyre. Now it's my turn. I will not touch. If I've read the book, I will not touch the movie. I will not touch the series. I will not touch anything along those lines if I've read the books first. I have been burned way too many times. I have been burned way too many times. So I said, you know what? We're breaking up. I'm done. Okay. If it has an adaptation and I've read it, no. Nope.
See, not me. I'm like, I will try and sneak the book in first just because I want to see what.
So you're daring.
Yeah, I am. Just because I am a little more forgiving because I know that it can be hard to incorporate. Okay, let's just say how long it takes you to read. In an hour and a half, 2 hour movie, it is almost impossible to incorporate something that takes you 18 hours to read. And that can never live up to like what you're thinking in your head. So I get that, but I do it to myself anyways. I'm like,
yeah, no, I can't do it. I scream. I'm the one that throws the book at the screen. It's like, nope, I'm done with you. I don't care how many TVs I have to go through. I'm done.
Yes. I couldn't wait. Like, so for Discovery of Witches, like I blazed through that. And then I was like, I got to watch the show. I just noticed on that. Do I label the tabs? I don't, but I do kind of color code them. It's a good question.
I did see the
I just noticed it now. It's a few minutes late. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Our moderator is handling anything that comes through. I don't know if you're getting hammered on social media. I know I've got a couple of people.
I see some things, but
That's okay. This is going to get recorded, so if it's during the week, kids are out for spring break. Totally.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. We don't
get
really
it.
Do
so
it.
It's going to be recorded.
Perfect. Yay, winner.
Yep, chicken dinner. Yep. So yeah, this is recording going on YouTube, so we'll share that.
Tell us with that one. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, no, I'm the one. I tried it with the Strain. I tried it with Witcher.
Oh,
I tried it with. I did try it.
I will not give up The Witcher. I understand. I'm not giving that. I will ship Henry Cavill till the day I die.
Oh, I love the man. Oh my gosh, he's amazing. But and you can tell he's miserable. The bad part is if you watched one episode of it, if you could stomach one episode, you can tell he's miserable in the role. He looks so miserable.
I really think. Have you ever seen those clips? Like, I'm not a gamer. We've discussed this before. Not because I have anything against it, more so because I'm incompetent. I write books. I can't. I'm just not that good. So I've seen like the game, I guess, looking thing, and I mean,
it's one of my favorite games.
The character in there kind of looks miserable as well. Like it's like a permanent.
Oh no, he's hilarious. No,
I'm sure
Geralt. Okay, if you don't play games, at least watch a walkthrough because his dialogue is amazingly written. He looks miserable.
Yeah, he's
hilarious.
Oh, 100%.
And he's hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure. Without a doubt.
It's really actually funny because Geralt inspired the character.
He's more of a grumpy, lovable dork. That's my kind, except for the grumpy, but give me like the lovable dork. I guess I could take a grumpy dork too.
No, he's definitely a moody teenager dork. But I mean, if you know anything about Geralt, the guy deserves it. I mean, he nearly died. He received a pitchfork through the gut. I mean, he nearly got killed.
He's allowed to be a little salty. It happens.
Oh yeah, he's definitely salty. He's a Witcher. Everybody hates them. So it's like,
right.
But there's one. He actually inspired the father figure of Alexander. So Geralt, that gummit Logan.
Popping right up.
So he inspired Pentecost, which is Cain's father. So Geralt did inspire Pentecost, and I did want to write him too, but I have a huge crush on Geralt. I love Geralt. I played him so many times it's sickening. So at least watch a walkthrough. That's all.
I'm not going to say it's sickening. I'm going to support all of that.
Oh yeah, total nerd. I am a Geralt nerd because all perfect guys are fictional, except my husband, because I have to say that. But
mine's upstairs, but he's watching, so I mean, I could still probably pick on him. He'll hear it, with only a slight delay.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a drag on it on the video.
My daughter loves Geralt too.
She has a crush on him.
The gal's not wrong. Listen,
hey, she got good taste. It starts early.
It does. It does. This is not a bad place to start. I mean,
the sad part is, my daughter flat out told me verbatim, "I hate books, Mom." I was like, that's going to change.
That must have hurt, like right in the feels. Did you choke a little bit? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the dark dagger was behind the back. You
were like, thank you.
You are not my offspring.
Right. Fortunately, I managed to. Well, she's only 8 though, so I did manage to snag a little bit of a reader. She just finished a couple weeks ago The Hunger Games. Yeah, and now she's reading Catching Fire.
I have never read The Hunger Games. Now, here's the beauty of it. I saw the movie before I read the book. That is one beauty of it. See, and I actually enjoyed the movie.
I don't think you would have been too upset about that one.
I heard it followed more. I will tell you, one thing is that it is kind of a alliance thorn in my paw, is I am technically a screenwriter. So I understand what needs to go and what doesn't. So it's like I can't watch a movie without, it's
Are you critiquing?
No.
What? I wouldn't do that. What?
I can't watch a movie without seeing Save the Cat. It's like opening theme stated hook. All right. I can't watch it in scenes anymore. It's just Save the Cat. It's like, oh, that's a Save Cat beat.
For myself, I am naive to some of these things, so I definitely, that's not my strong suit. Dialogue, I'm pretty good, but I'm always in awe of people like you when you can like multi kind of I don't know, like it's not multitask, but it's like multi. What is the word? Wow, writers can't talk. Like
we cannot talk. That's why we write.
Oh my gosh! Like I write a book, I can't speak.
That's why.
I mean, fire me.
No, you don't need to be fired. We can't talk. We're not supposed to be able to talk.
Yeah, that's why we write. We can't talk.
That's why we have agents. Exactly. We have agents to speak for us.
Yes, somebody speak. No, well, I wouldn't like that either. What's an agent? Listen, sir.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like I feel like I have one just right across from me.
Oh, I'm weird. I enjoy the marketing side of things, so I probably could very easily step into, if I wanted to be a literary agent, to step out.
See what I mean? What is that? Multi-talented. There it is.
I started in the indie thing, so.
Our moderator here is quite
a Renaissance woman.
See? Quite cheeky.
He's very cheeky. Try living with the guy.
I have one upstairs. Like it was a bet. I was like, listen, you need to go upstairs. Like, come on now. Just, you can do it. Like, you can watch from wherever, but you got to go like upstairs. Because So I feel like
I love your husband. He's fun to play.
he is so ridiculous.
I think back in those days they'd call us a witch. What?
Fair enough. Listen, I am pretty proud of the fact that back in the day they wouldn't have questioned like me being a witch. They would have just been like, roast that one. Roast her. She has pockets and she talks too much. Roast her.
She has pockets.
Exactly. Like she has pockets to hide her things. You better roast her. Yeah. So I wouldn't have lasted long.
Yeah, no. I think that's actually a writer thing. It's like, because a lot of us, I don't know if you do it, but I know sometimes I will be walking around the house going, for this latest book for Hunter, I was walking around with the main character, literally interviewing him in my head. Like, what would you do, you complete dick? And it's like, he's like, what do you think I would do? And so it's literally like, I've got this.
I would do. I don't think that's nuts. I was in the bathtub and I was reading some of their dialogue back and forth, like, and making faces. So because I wanted to, do you ever make faces like to get the right facial expression? Like when someone says something, because I'm very visual and I move my face a lot, as you can tell. So I know that that's how a lot of people read my face. And before they can even maybe necessarily hear what's coming out of my mouth, they're looking at my face. And I'm like, what face would I make if that was coming out of my mouth?
That's a talent not many writers have. I mean,
and right. And so again, I feel like that's a wonderful piece of like myself I was able to incorporate, because I was able to give people an accurate visual when a character, and one gal even told me, she was like, I never had trouble. She's like, if Atlas, Anders, Athena, and Kaylin were in a scene, she goes, I never had trouble knowing who was speaking. Because that you can easily throw off a reader if they're, at all, which I totally get, because sometimes I'm like, huh, who said what? Because like you understood their facial expressions and just the mannerisms that went with the character. And I was like, yes, I nailed it. So.
I did notice that when I was reading through your manuscript, was that I didn't ever have that problem with that. And you are a master at avoiding he touched this, he walked across, he, she, like, please.
Yes, I try to absolutely avoid that, just because that's something that I've been told to watch out for. I took then some more of your wonderful feedback, and I was like, okay. And I read through it and I looked at it and I was like, son of a biscuit. There are things in here that needs to go. Gosh dang it. Like, it was not gosh, son of a, like,
I can imagine it was colorful.
Right, it was colorful, but it was so helpful. It's not like I was, I never get mad. People always, that's another thing for me. I love critical feedback because I can use it for future. So one guest, she did still really like the book, but she told me along with what she liked, because sometimes you always hear what a reader likes. She told me like what like she did it like wasn't a fan of, or what felt like a little short for her. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I can throw sensory blocks in there on the fly.
I'm very glad you said that, because there are so, being a book blogger, I have got some scathing emails from authors. Like no, I'm a critical book blogger, so I'm able to switch that light switch from author to blogger. Right. So there's absolutely no author looking at this book. It's just as a book
just
blogger.
As a reader. It's just, right. I'm same. I feel that. Somebody asked me, to look at something, or they'll ask me to look at something, and I'm like, as a reader or as like an author, which would you prefer? Well, what? And I'm like, no, there is a difference. Like I'm reading when someone just wants me to like read something through, I'm like, yes. So what you're saying is,
thanks, I can't throw in censor blocks.
Yeah, no censor blocks.
He says he can't throw censor blocks.
I read that earlier. I was like, don't censor me. Yeah, see this guy. I'm glad that you're able to do that. To switch that off. I think that is an excellent talent, and I love that when you blog, it comes from a place of reading. I think that's great.
If the author asks for author feedback, I'll email it privately. It's more of a thing that I'll take the author and make it more. That way they have it to refer to when they go back through, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and I love that. So I was really appreciative of, of one of the readers on there. She was really helpful. And actually, it was right before I needed to turn. She gave me one piece of information right before I can't exactly like, well, no, I kind of could. She was like, you know what? You have made such a wonderful sense of family in this book. She goes, and you missed like one thing in this chapter. And I was like, really? And so I was just in the nick of time before I was sending in like the final manuscript, and I was able to really look at that, and I was able to like add that in, and it fit perfectly. And it was literally a change of one sentence.
That's why we asked for those betas and critical betas.
Yeah, I mean, and she wasn't. It wasn't even like, it was to the point of it was still like an art, but it was really nice that I was able to get that, and it wasn't necessarily something negative. I don't want to give it away because it's a surprise, but it was really, really helpful because I just didn't even think anything of it, and I was like, oh, clever little minx, you.
Sometimes, and sometimes we don't see it. Like, we have no idea how many times we have the same character sigh within 3 sentences. So it's really, it's really nice.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a sigh. It was about a character, like a family-oriented situation, and a character had not been excluded, but just not mentioned, and they should have been. And I was like, oh, you got me. Yep, good one.
Yeah.
So
it's like, do we need to burn this character or keep it?
I love it. Give me all the feedback.
Oh yeah. See, authors, especially being an indie, you can definitely see where authors need to kind of lay off, because bloggers are. Oh, I can say this because I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm hybrid published.
You are. Look at you.
Oh. Yeah. I don't toot my own horn. Okay, no tooting with the trombone. I'm just saying.
Fine. I'll toot your horn. Beep beep.
Oh. Pop, pop.
Can't stop me, Zach.
That's right. Pop, pop.
And you said I was corny.
But I tell you, it's like, you guys need to cool it, okay? If your book's not good, unpublish the damn thing. It's okay.
It's okay. Or take more time if it's not out, or like just maybe take more time. I appreciate that when you have us do things that you do, like give us adequate time, like, hey, that let's try and make this good story, but let's try and do better. You have the time to do it, so do it.
We do try. Fireside is we are definitely indies by indies, so it's like 4 indies by indies. So we know it's like not to have that. So we try not to be that publisher that puts the wall and said, this really sucks, but we're going to publish it anyway. So we try to give you guys ample time, because we know a lot of you guys are our firsties. So we try to. So we're like, yeah, well, if we need to push back the
let's adjust if we have to. And I do. I mean, I do love that you don't just kind of go, okay, well, yeah, it's fine. No, you're kind of like, oh, well, no, it's good, but you can do better. You can do better. It's kind of like a duck being pushed to swim. Come on.
You got. We see this. Just keep going.
You're so close, just a little bit further. So no, I actually rather enjoy that. I think it's great because ultimately, it'll help that growth from one book to another, whatever genre you decide to go to, or whatever sequel it is. And I know that from even first writing Triad to finishing final proofs and revisions, that book is. I remember. You know what? I've quoted this multiple times. This is the one thing you told me, and my jaw dropped when I shared this. You said, if your book is 75K, you will rewrite 75% of that. And I went, what?
I think I remember your reaction.
I was blown. And you know what?
How much did you write?
You were absolutely right. I basically tore that. When I tell people, I'm like, you don't understand. This book started with a prologue that no longer exists, but y'all might see it again for some fun bonus content, a freebie here and there. There's a chapter that was completely deleted. There are other chapters that were partially like just bye. Things that you were like, okay, that's a no-no. And I was like, okay.
I understand completely.
Okay, like it's so hard, and it's very interesting. But all of that makes so like when I have someone, I have an alpha reader right now for book 2, and they're like, I want to let you know from what I read from the beginning of the first one, because they're like, from to this one, like you've already improved greatly. So if people think that you just stay the same, you really don't. You're constantly improving those skills when someone tells you something, which I think is awesome. So
that's good. That's why I tried to, because Blessing of Luna was my first book, and
yeah, it should be in my hands. Sorry.
I'm sorry, that was it was literally stolen. Okay, I got informed that it was ripped open and stolen, and they took both books.
I understand. I had one book taken off my one. I only lost one. And it actually happened to be, I bet you know her, it was Elizabeth Holland's book. I ordered her Christmas one, and I bet you, because the package was like so like thinner, they thought something fun was in there. But I tell you, I know when they took that package off my porch, they got it, opened it, and went, "It's a book." Don't steal the packages. It's a book. It's always a book.
Porch.
Okay. Whatever. It only happened once. So we live in a smaller town. So my UPS guy, like, we know him, and he actually asked us. He's like, "Do you mind?" He's like, "I'll just open the door." I'm like, I'll stick it in. And I was like, "Absolutely, just open the door." Of course, the one day, like, we saw him the next day. He delivered something. And the next day, we happened to catch him, and he goes, "Your cat scared the hell out of me. I didn't know she was there." He's like, and it was, whoa. So yeah, he's gotten, him and the cat are on speaking terms now. But yeah, it's really nice. So none of my packages get taken anymore. But really, I would have loved to have seen that person's face when they ripped that open and it was a book. Because I'm like, yeah, I bet you're a big reader.
See, the sad part is you can actually just resell them, because there are so many big readers. So it's like, we have somebody in the UK right now illegally selling Blessing of Luna and Bane of Tenebris. Like, they are. It's just nature of the beast. It's just.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's just how easy it's become for people to steal. And John was the one that noticed it first, I think. And it was somebody in the UK is illegally selling it, and it's like, well, not much we can do about that.
Yeah, I guess that's disappointing. People, come on, be better, do better.
Ending. Yep. People's is crazy as people's. But we aren't getting to the end of the show, and don't worry, I will set up the.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice the time. See, I babble so frequently that I don't even know.
It's also good for drug trades. What?
Would you?
It's also good. Sure.
Yeah, okay. We'll take your word for it. Thank you. Again, for those of you who can't see, our moderator is a gem with the commentary. Look for a $15 book.
Look for a $15.
I mean, I'm sorry. Pardon us here. It just gets better and better on the sidebar here. I mean, I don't know if he's wrong though. What he's suggesting, I mean, he's right. It sounds a little sketchy.
Oh yeah, totally. No,
I mean, while I have you though, let's go ahead and do this. I think maybe 4 people in existence know that Triad's first sequel is actually called Equinox.
I got a sneak peek, but I didn't.
But you didn't tell. You did. You got a. It's there. We do a preview in the very back of book 1, which I've been told is is not exactly their favorite part.
Oh, the prequel? Like, I haven't. I mean, the preview. I have not read it, so no tellsies. Okay.
I won't. You know what? You may not. All I know is, if you're paying attention to my reviews, there's a common theme going in some of those reviews.
I have not read them in detail, so do share.
Well, there's a lot. There's the majority of those are like, this book was a wild ride. Like, wow, that ending. What? And so I've had many of them message me in the middle of the night or the early morning when they have finished reading Triad and they're crying.
Oh, see, you're blaming me for all the feels.
Listen, I will redeem myself. Okay, the one. Let me see. One reviewer, she was like, "Don't shy away from it, though." She's like, "Just trust me." She's like, "Read it. Don't shy away." Yeah, I think Triad is definitely going to be like a wonderful new take on like the shifter kind of genre, because it's not all heavy, dirty, not all heavy, dirty sex, and it's not
alpha male.
One character dominating maybe over another, which is kind of like a common theme we see.
I'm tired of the alpha males. Just FYI, I won't even accept those. I mean, we won't even accept those into publishing anymore. Like we will look, but
that is not me.
So I mean,
well, that's why you were like, yeah, good. You didn't write that. Thank you. Is that what?
Yeah, no, we're just, no.
Yeah, that's so I didn't do that, but I know that a lot of people are familiar with that. Like when you even just say the word like shifter, they think of like very alpha a-hole, and I'm like, no, the lead is not actually an alpha a-hole. He is very nice and very cute.
He's swoon. Yeah,
and he sings. Oh yes. Oh, and he. Yeah. I mean, there is. I mean, I know you're gonna do the giveaway, but look at. I mean, he's adorable.
I was actually going to talk to you about the giveaway. So since it didn't get, I mean, we didn't get an overly large audience, but how we can do it is if you want us to, or if you want to. However, because I will obviously set up my giveaway because I know I got some good stuff to give away. So we can do that via Rafflecopter, and we'll just circulate it on social media, and I'll post it up first thing tomorrow morning, and just have that going. That way, folks will be able to get on a Rafflecopter. They'll be able to sign up for your newsletter.
Whatever you want to do with it is just fine, because I sent it to you for whatever use you want to use it for. So it doesn't. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Don't say that, girl. I'll keep it. It's a coffee mug, really sexy bookmarks, and some gorgeous character art. So don't tell me I can't.
You certainly may. Listen, you certainly may consider it. Okay, listen, consider it an apology and a thank you for when you see my proofread notes.
Oh, I don't. Okay, do not worry about proof. I like the formatting phase, just as long as you didn't send me like 100 pages of fix me's.
I think it's 11, but because of the spacing, I spaced them out.
No. If it's just 11, I can breathe.
It's 11. It's 11, and I did I forgot it didn't save on there. The things that have asterisk. Sorry, this is. Hopefully, you're gonna cut that off, not record it. But
let me edit. Yeah, let me.
Yeah, if you want to edit like the.
Guys, okay. Before she goes, our guts. We are going to go ahead and end this. Look for the giveaway on our social media tomorrow. We're going to have some really cool stuff. I'm going to be giving away some sexy character art featuring Triad, some bookmarks featuring Triad, some coffee mugs for you nerds that love coffee like I are a nerd.
I mean,
so this is going to be a Triad love bundle, and I will throw in the sexy limited edition anthology because it's a romance little package thingy.
Let's do it.
So I'll send that up tomorrow. So come back tomorrow because we are going to be speaking to Laura of the author of Oil and Water. I cannot remember your last name, Laura. Please do not. Sorry.
Me.
We're going to be talking to her tomorrow.
Yeah.